Well, years ago, decades ago, I was seeking to realize upon a sizable final money judgment against a debtor named Francis Leo O'Brien, who is a convicted racketeer. He finally went undercover in a deal he cut with the Philadelphia Division of Labor Racketeering to do undercover work for the government to turn in some of his other buddies for a period of time. We had very vigorous collection efforts, and one day in a large conference room in the sky in a law firm in a big building, with only Mr. O'Brien, the investigator, and I, and the court reporter, interrogating Mr. O'Brien. Mr. O'Brien interrupted, and then we went into a session without a court reporter. I rarely do that, but he said, "Let me explain to you guys just exactly what it is I do, so you'll understand it. Because you guys are becoming a nuisance." He said, "What I do, it's sort of like a big pyramid. Now, it's not like a pyramid scheme like you think of in, securities frauds or Ponzi schemes. Here's what it's a pyramid. I put deals together, and yeah, I rip people off. But the first and biggest level of the pyramid at the bottom with the widest base is all the people who don't even know anything's wrong. They just think they got into a bad business deal. So that's lovely. Then we start going up this pyramid where it gets narrower and narrower, and the air gets thinner and thinner. Next, I get a group of people who are suspicious that something went wrong. Or they may complain that something went wrong. Or they may even, quote, quote, know something was wrong. But they do nothing. Now, why do they do nothing? I don't really care why they do nothing. They do nothing sometimes because they're embarrassed. They can't believe it happened to them. They don't want other people to know about it. The bottom line is they do nothing. So that's another level of the pyramid that I don't have to worry about. Then we go to the next level. Here we get people who are really upset and they start a lawsuit. So they sued me. Doesn't mean they're going to finish. It doesn't mean they're going to go through discovery and the delays and everything I can do to drag it out. A good number of them will just sort of fall by the wayside, and sooner or later the case just sort of falls away. Well, then we get to the next level, and now you got my attention because you're going to either take a default judgment against me at some point because I'm going to stop playing in the proceeding, or we're going to go to trial and I'll show up, and in the end you're going to get a verdict against me, what you refer to as a final money judgment. And you'd be really surprised at how many people it ends right there, because they or their lawyers have absolutely no idea how to collect a judgment. Sometimes they try, so then we get to the next level of the inartful post-judgment efforts. And as you've already perceived, there are times where you have very strong suspicions that I'm even lying under oath to you. It's no sweat off my back. They peter out, they don't get very far. Then I start on rare occasion to bump into people like you. You mount a vigorous, knowledgeable realization effort to collect your judgment out of my hide. and you start scarfing up some assets here and there, but you don't stop. So what do I do with people like you? Well, you know, every 7 years I get to file bankruptcy. And let's see, I think we're at about 6 years and 6 months right now. That's why we're having this conversation. And when we file bankruptcy, I know about you, Quiat. I've checked on you. I know that when we file bankruptcy, you're going to file an adversary action to either bar me from discharging the debt I owe your client, or bar me from discharging anything in the bankruptcy, which is really counterproductive for you. But it doesn't really bother me because, you know, when that happens, I have a lot of other people out there who would like to come after me. I have a 50-50 chance of getting rid of all of you in the bankruptcy proceeding. But if you prevail and I don't get to discharge my debt to you after 18 months in the bankruptcy court or thereabouts, you get a fresh hunting license. In the meantime, during those 18 months, you haven't been able to be asking me a thing about what I'm doing during that time, but I get to keep on working, doing what I do. And so you get to basically start over with a fresh hunting license. And we're not quite at that point yet in this case I have involving your client. But should we get to that point, and should you continue to persist, well, at that point, I'll just have to go to the trouble and effort of putting together some other deal to generate some assets from some other folks and get you out of my life. And that's what I do. Now, do you want to go back on the record and continue your discussion about my assets and such? Well, that was Francis Leo O'Brien giving us insight into the mindset of a professional con artist. I've never in 45 years had anyone tell it better.